Back again. Free to sin no more. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. Now, take the woman that was caught in the act of adultery. Adulterous woman. Normally, adultery just don't happen one time. Happen again. And then they're caught. God says what's done in the dark will be made manifest by the light. If you're living in a light, even these headed your way, God's going to show you. He said, I'm going to show you the desire of your enemies. You will see it on their faces. You will see their desire in their faces. You understand? But she had to do it a few times. Then she was finally caught. And God is so merciful. Hey, you got to stop this. I don't know if she was a woman sleeping with a outside woman sleeping with a man or what. It never tells the details. It says she was caught in a very act of adultery. So she could have been cheating on her husband, or she could have been sleeping with a married man. It's still adultery. Do the math. Either way, she was caught. Most people I know in this life that committed adultery, they get caught. And then a lot of people, when they get caught, they try to rectify their reasons. Well, I wasn't in love anymore. Well, things just weren't the same at home. You see, the devil loves to put excuses in your head to make you do dumb things. Let me tell you something, people. What God put together, let no man put asunder. And let me tell you something. If God decides to put asunder, you might be in trouble. If God decides to separate your marriage because of the act of adultery, don't think you're going to get a slap on the wrist or free pass to continue to sin. The Bible talks about people getting caught in adultery. They're only supposed to remarry. The person who wasn't committing adultery is. That's how God's love is. But the other person, you need to walk around unmarried. Because you got to think about it. If you remarry somebody caught in the act of adultery, you're committing adultery. But the thing is, we have God, and He's so forgiving. And then He'll wipe away your past sins. But if you don't have God, your sins can't be wiped away. That means you're still living in sin if you don't have God. If you're not God-fearing, and you get caught in the act of adultery, and you cheat, and you go marry somebody else, and you ain't got God, you're still living in sin. Did I break it down to you? If you're going against God, you're still living in sin. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. There's no such thing as a free lunch. I'd heard that saying before. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Accepting God in your life is free. But it involves what? Work. It's free. Freely you are received. Freely you shall give. He gave it to you free. He gave His life freely. But it takes work. That's the part where most people miss it. They don't want to work on it. They don't want to work at it. Work involves continual things. Work is not just going to work 9 to 5. I work. Look up the definition of work and understand what work is. Work is not just a 9 to 5. It's a little more to it than that. Pray that you enter the harvest. The laborers are few. Laborers in the harvest, that sounds like work. So if you give your life to God, you give your life to Jesus, it involves work. It involves things you have to do. You got to set the example for other people, right? Are you going to do it? How do other people know how to find God and how God truly works if you're not operating in His works? That's why the Pharisees could never see Him and understand God's way. I hope people have a blessed day. Hope you take these words and live it up. But just remember this. Who the Son sets free indeed, not free to do as you please. Have a blessed day.